And hello to all my Capricorn friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for April 2023. Now today they have dialed up for my great Capricorns a four-corner spread. Four-corner spread is a great spread for these general readings because it looks at the four main areas that people usually ask about in tarot. We're looking at your work corner, your financial corner, your health corner, as well as the infamous love corner, everybody's favorite there. We're going to take a brush through all four of them, guys, a little stroll through the four corners and see what is going on in your April, what to look forward to and be aware of. And they've asked that I conclude your reading with a very interesting spread called Telling Time. Now that looks at a window of time within the year. Usually it's in the future. Sometimes they talk about stuff in the past too, but usually they're trying to warn you about something ahead of time. Maybe something that you want to really grasp and have a great opportunity to do if we give you this date. Otherwise, you may completely miss it. And Spirit doesn't want you to do that. So we're going to do Telling Time. Also, conclude your reading with the runestone. So we have a lot to get to, Capricorn. Let's get started right now, shall we? The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a whole bunch of time. I'm going to bring you in the overhead view right now so you can watch. I like to share my table with you guys, show you what is going on. Lost my camera here. Oh, there it goes. Come back up. Yeah. Working with a new phone, and this is just not the same. My old phone pooped out on me, so this is kind of like a temporary deal. So hopefully it works for today. That's all it really needs to do. And now we should be on and recording. Now that the technical difficulties are out of our way, Capricorn, we are ready to have a great April. If you agree, hit that like button. Let's do it. So here we go. These are my ritual cuts, guys. Cutting the decks into three different parts, putting them back together in a separate order. It satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It is the same procedure for personal private readings. Here we go with your four corners. The first corner is work. Starting out with a banger here. Big theme with the major arcana. Judgment card there. Let's move down here to finance. Finance is right below it. Another big theme. You know, I was just going to, and actually all three of those are major arcana cards too. So it's like, they're all big themes, big, and big down there. So huge financial corner for you guys. And I was just going to say, too, that the four corners are usually, simpler spreads. But you guys are, saying none of that. We're not having that. Not for Capricorn. This up here, by the way, is love. So we just got love. Short and sweet, actually, as it turns out. And then down here, we have health. Health, also short and sweet. Don't have many blockages. You guys are giving me a good clean read. Appreciate that, Capricorn. Looking good there. In fact, no corner even needs a discard. They're all upright enough that, we don't even need to get into the angel cards right now. We will with Telling Time, though, so it's good that we have them ready to go. I do need, hold it. I do need an angel card for the majors. Forgot about that. Usually my four corners is, we don't get the majors off the bat like you guys, but you guys get the major themes. And since we have major themes, we need to address it as such. So your work and your finance are huge, as you can see. And let me actually just make sure you can see everything. Speaking of see it. So there is work. This will be finance, health, and love. Love. Let's get to it, Cappies. Let's get to work. See what April has in store for my great Capricorns. We're going to be hitting work and finance together, and we're going to do that last, basically because that needs the most energy. Make sure we spend the most time there. So let's get started with health and then go to love. Well, health is looking quite fabulous, I must say, Capricorn. Not much to say. They bring in an event as something that would be very good for you to do, that would improve maybe your mental health, maybe your emotional health a little bit here. It doesn't feel like it's super physical, but if it's like something to do with like a health and wellness type thing, an expo or something like that, where they're doing lotions and creams and all kinds of like new stuff in the industry. That's what kind of the event feels like. But this can be different things to different people. But they really say, going to some kind of event here comes up very prominently, and it's such a good thing for you to do, even if it's like going to a movie with an old friend of yours. That is like really good for your heart, really good for your social camaraderie, and just having a good time. That's good for everybody, good for the soul, right? Speaking of the soul, they show spiritual health next. Also fantastic. Really looking good here. Some of you may also be making a big purchase in regards to something that would affect your health. It's like if you buy an expensive treadmill or something like that, or you go sign up to get a personal trainer. They're not cheap. So that's the kind of vibe that comes in here for health. But it's a great spiritual mix. great physical mix of events going on, and there's really nothing bad in there to warn you about. It's actually looking really good. So we'll just kind of move right on. Business as usual. Let's move up to love. Love is actually looking quite nice too. And this is one of those cards that you want inverted, because otherwise it would mean a very different definition, but thankfully it's not the case. The way it sits means warm and fuzzy, okay? So warm and fuzzy, the relationship is looking good in April, or if you're single, the suitors, the field is looking real good. Really good possibilities out there, guys. The warm and fuzzy, comfy, cuddly energy. That's what's coming up here for the love corner for April. Take advantage of it, guys. Next to it, they show new. Now, this is a work type of new, so it's an interesting thing to come up in the love corner, but, sometimes spirit means that there can be new love interests through the workplace, or somebody you meet through work, a friend of a coworker or something like that, right? So this is bringing in something new there, perhaps, or they could be talking about doing something for work that you love too. Your love corner is also your family corner. So keep in mind that this may just be about your family too. It may not be about your relationship status whatsoever, but it also may. So I kind of want you to keep it wide open and understand the context of what they're trying to say to you here, because I have something with work coming up here. But this can also be new projects, home renovations, doing something like that with the home or with the family. Okay, that all comes up very nicely in April. So Capricorn, we are off to a great start, and we are running and moving over to work. They point us right to work because they talked about that love interest at work, or maybe even doing something you love for work. So we have to just go dive right into work. There's just no beating around that bush. So into the big theme of work, they talk about a major decision being made in April. Now, a lot of you, they're saying Capricorns have already decided this. You've already decided, hey, I'm going to go for this promotion. Hey, I'm going to go start my own business at a certain time. Maybe that's what telling time is. They're going to highlight a moment here for you for whatever you're trying to do here. But a lot of you have already decided this is what you want to do, but you not necessarily have done it yet, okay? They bring up in my Seven of Cups next that there are a lot of different ways that this can go, even though you've already kind of blown the horn and made this decision. And let me just go back to that real quick. If you are a Capricorn that has a major decision in the work corner to be made and you have not made it yet, you really have to. Probably should have been done in March, maybe even February. You got to decide here what's going on here. Spirit needs to know what to do with it. They are basically saying to prioritize with my Angel Oracle card. So it says focus on your highest priorities. The most important stuff, guys. They will help you get organized and motivated. I know that because that's what the card says. So they're being very direct with you here. They're saying you get it in order, and then we'll just help you knock that order out. We're just going to make a little checklist here and get through it. So get organized with it too. Now, going back to the paths and all these different choices that, this can really go a bunch of different ways. And this is overall a good thing. However, when people have a lot of different choices here, sometimes they don't choose, or they get a little reserved about choosing. It's the paradox of choice. And even by not choosing, that is also a choice. So what they're saying here is that there are some bad choices to be had in here, and maybe not doing anything would be a bad choice. So you got to weigh this out a little bit. You got to use your intuition a little bit, trust your gut where this is going. They don't want you to make a bad choice. And some of these paths are great for your work future. Some of them are also terrible. Okay, so you really have to weigh out the pros and the cons and do your homework, so to speak. And that also is indicated by our other card that came up in this corner. This work corner, I have the card of theft, loss, or deceit. Now, this may just be shisty people, deceitful people coming up in your work bubble. Work also corner is a big place. I should probably started with that. But hey, you know what? Work's a big corner. Work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement if you're of that age, entrepreneurship, learning new things, hobbies and interests. So any of that stuff is this bubble that you're making this decision about, guys, whatever it pertains to you there. So be careful, keep an eye out for things that you can't trust, people that are shady, people stealing from you, maybe even stealing your ideas. If this is a new business, if it's a great idea, don't be telling a whole lot of people about it. We have some theft and loss coming up there for a reason, and Spirit doesn't tell you that to scare you. They tell you that so that you try to avoid it and you kind of can see it coming, okay? So very important there for work. Now, before we get into this huge financial corner, I am going to cut away to do your moon cycles real quick because the new moon and the full moon are going to affect your finances and your work for timing, depending on what this major decision was for work. So we're going to cut out for that, tell you about the brand new gemstone, come back and hit this huge financial corner. Okay guys, it is moon cycle forecast time. Very simple set of moon cycles this month. Going to be a very quick pull. Also going to tell you about a brand new gemstone in the shop, but first those moon cycles. The moon cycles are starting to move through earlier in the months. So now we have the full moon that hits first in April. That comes through April 6th. That is the peak, which basically means from April 1 through about the 10th, it's going to be very strong energy for getting things out of your life. That is what the full moon does. I call it the garbage truck of the universe. Get anything out of your life that you don't want there. Use that energy to your benefit. It's already out there. The energy's already there with the moon. Might as well use it to your benefit. Much easier to walk downstairs than walk upstairs, swim downstream than swim against the current. That's what the moon cycles do for you. So it doesn't matter what you're trying to get out of your life either. The universe does not care whether this is breaking habits, whether this is getting rid of people. Some of you actually have to get rid of people and some cordage in your life, and all that stuff doesn't matter what it is. Much better placed early in April. Even if it's cleaning out a closet, a garage, getting rid of old things, maybe you got to sell something. That is all full moon energy, much better placed early in April. Adversely, we have the new moon, which comes through April 20th. April 20th is the key there. I can't say to focus on bringing new stuff in the end of the month anymore, because the 20th is moved up far enough here where, the end of the month is getting more back into some full moon energy. So the focus for bringing new things into your life, manifesting in things that weren't there before, is the third week of April. April 20th is the apex. It doesn't have to be on the 20th though. Any kind of time around there. Let's call it the 15th through the 25th. Pretty strong vibration there for bringing new things in, whether you're trying to attract brand new love, whether you're trying to do something new with work, get a new job, do something new in the health corner, or do something new with your money. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's brand new, it's much better placed under the new moon, peaking on April 20th, but anytime right around there is key. And like I said, don't wait too long into the month to get something new going, because if you do, you're going to bump into that full moon energy eking its way through from May, and we don't want to do that. So that is your moon cycles, guys. Like I said, short and sweet there, but let's talk about the gemstone. I'm really proud to bring this one to you here. This is the first gemstone that is in the shop that is actually a permanent part of the Scott Sagent table, and it's right here. It's a little piece of sodalite. Sodalite is the gemstone for this month of April that we are releasing and debuting for the month. And sodalite is, I call it my wisdom stone. It is good for many different things. I'm going to be posting that on the shop page of my little research bracket there, my little graphic with all the great things sodalite does for health, for metaphysics, and for the whole bit. I call it my wisdom stone. It's sitting right underneath my ruby record keeper. So we have wisdom on top of wisdom there. And this is a wonderful stone that you guys will enjoy. And the full write-up is available on scottsagent.com. Check that out. You guys will love it. Let's get back to your reading. Let's get down into finance. Finance, they show really kind of tight here between two places. This is my devil card. So they're talking about bondage here. I basically read this like a handcuffed, either between two people, two entities, two places. So this would be like, if you're checking and savings, that's two entities, right? They're really bound together here because they, flow into each other, etc. And for whatever reason, it's being used. It's like Spirit wouldn't be saying you're checking in your savings if it was business as usual, unless, something was coming out too much and then your savings had to dump in there. You know what I'm saying? So we have two things working together, and it might, for you, have nothing to do with that. This could be like, if you're retired, this could be like your pension and your 401k, your IRA. So it's something like that. It's like two things working together here for finance, and it may even be two people's accounts working together. It could be like you and your spouse's account. It's these two things that are very much married together financially here for you in April. I don't know exactly where they're going with that yet, but let's get into the next cards and talk about the details. They show me the Lovers card next, so that reiterates kind of what I just said about double people here. Double people, double accounts, two entities. And I'm actually going to show you these cards side by side for this reason, because this almost looks like a mirror, with the exception of our little devil going on here. We have the two people. It's almost like they copied and pasted it. It's like the artist, just did the same thing and put horns on one of them. Essentially the same idea. So that's what they're saying. They're making this a point that they're talking about two things, Capricorn, for finances. These are working together. These are bonded together, or need to be. That could be part of the push too. Hey, maybe you only have a checking. Maybe you should do something else with your money here. Maybe you have your money is being put into one thing. Let's say one investment. Well, maybe it should be two. Maybe you shouldn't just put all your eggs in one basket. So you can get a couple of different ideas from the concepts that I'm kind of throwing out there for you, so you understand the energy of what they're talking about. Usually my specifics are not the part that's going to be accurate. It's going to be the energy of what I'm describing. that is accurate. So finding how that pertains to you is key, of course. And the reason that we're doing all of this is because they're saying that you haven't been authoritative with your money. You guys really got to be the boss here, get in full control of what is going on, be in charge of the way things are moving around or not moving around. You got to get things going here. You got to pull the levers, get it going. And they also say, you know what to do with my Angel Oracle card. So that's good news, because then I don't have to tell you what to do. You already know what to do. So all you have to do is do it. Do it, Capricorn. Get to it. So financially, they're kind of giving you a hard time about it, but it's because they want you to act. And I feel like a lot of you aren't necessarily living up to your potential there, or there's something that they want you to kind of just hammer home in your financial corner. And April seems to be the time that they wanted to do that for you. So I'm going to grab your runestone right now, guys, and then we're getting into some telling time. Runestones are shuffled up. I'll give them one last swirl. And here we go. Capricorn runestone, going to be this one right here. And of course, this is just what we just got done talking about. And this is the runestone of partnership. Partnership, doing things together. In the financial corner, two different entities, two different things working together, okay? Love corner, we had warm and fuzzy. That sounds a little bit like partnership, or at least partnership potential, right, guys? So, the health corner, I'm not really sure how partnership would apply there, but it was so good, I'm not even concerned about tying it in. And then for the work corner, partnership is watch your partners, because not all of them are trustworthy. And also partnership with the choices that have to be made and prioritizing. That is really kind of digging in deep here, guys, so you can see partnership through pretty much the entire reading, at least the relevant parts of the reading. So very good runestone to conclude that part. Now let's get into your telling time. I usually reshuffle if I'm beyond 10 cards. You guys are not. We are right at my limit, so I'm going to keep going without cutting out. So we're just going to run it like it is and just hit it. So make some room for myself, and here we go. So what I'm doing with the telling time, if we get a key thing that comes up here, I'm looking for aces actually as my target, that's going to let me know that this first round is extremely, extremely important. Like, this is a date that you cannot miss for the life of you. It is very specific to a certain part of the year, and hey, we just got to tell you this right here, right now. And we may not get one of these this first round. It may be second round, which basically lightens the load a little bit, and it looks like that is what happened. Yeah, we don't have a target yet. So now we go into round 2. So what this does is this takes a week window and it turns it into more of closer like 3 weeks to a month. Instead of saying, October 11th, they could be saying here, you know what, just sometime in October. So let's see what we have here, if that even pulls up. If not, we go to round 3. And round 3 is something different, but before I get to that, let me make sure that we have to get to that. Okay, another no-go here. So we go into a couple months. They just want to give you a big bracket of window here, perhaps, if we got an ace here. And if it doesn't come up this round, we go backwards in time, which is always interesting too. So you never know what you're getting with Spirit. And this is really not any different than that. Now, I just noticed that I actually had a date the last one. So that was my mistake. Let me just make sure that I didn't miss any other ones as well. I think it was just the one. Usually pretty thorough at this. I don't know how I missed that ace. There we go. So I got it. I got our date. We got our date. We're not going backwards in time. We're going forwards in time, and they're sticking with the month window. But now I do have to do some math. So first I need to tack on cards before I do the math. So there's my 1, 2, and 3. And then what is this about? What is this date so important for? And also get an angel card for that. So I'm going to be right back, guys, with that. Cut away to do some math, and I'm going to tell you what this date is. Okay, Capricorn, I am back with your telling time. I've calculated your date, and I just actually said it beforehand. I just didn't know it. I said the first thing that popped in my head, which was October 11th. Okay, they didn't say October 11th, though. They just said October. Remember, we have a big window here. A lot of my Capricorns tuning in, and they don't want to tie this down too tight, so they're letting you guys know October. Okay, so we said it before, and now Spirit says it again. October is your window. Now, what is this window for? Good thing you asked, because now, let me tell you, it's a work message. Doesn't surprise us because we had a big, huge theme for you guys for work. So this is a work window here, guys, in October. So what are you trying to do for your work corner? What is that major decision you've made? Is it for later? Is it maybe, could it be the target date here of October? Could that be the finish line to when you're trying to open this business? Or leave your job, start something new with work? These are all things that Spirit wants you to consider here because they're telling you when to do this. And that's in October. It doesn't mean you start in October, though. Maybe that's the finish line, like I said. Or maybe That's when some of you start. That's for you to decide. You kind of got to figure out where you're at here, but they're showing a huge, I can't stress it enough, huge window for work in the month of October. They also say nurture with your angel oracle card, so it's basically saying you have to mother this, and then mother it some more. In the card, it specifically says, nurture card, as you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. So it's saying you got to do both. You got to, nurture whatever this business push is and love yourself too at the same time. Believe in yourself, have faith in yourself, and you can do it. And October is that huge green light for you to go for it, Capricorn. I want to see you guys get there. That wraps up what has been a wonderful reading for Capricorn, I must say. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future readings, and have a great April.